Hey there, have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, working hard, saving a bit, but you just can't seem to get ahead financially? Well, what if I told you the biggest thing holding you back isn't your job or your budget, but the story you're telling yourself about money? Today, we're diving deep into that. We're going to give your financial life a complete mindset makeover, starting from the inside out. We're so often taught to chase a number, a certain amount in savings, a specific investment goal. But think about this for a second. What if real financial freedom is actually a state of mind? What if that feeling of peace and security starts with a shift in how you think, long before you ever hit that magic number? And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you actually do it? This isn't about just thinking happy thoughts about money. No, this is about getting your hands dirty, digging into your own personal psychology, and building a totally new foundation for your wealth. So, you ready to get started? Okay, so first things first. Before we can build anything new, we have to see what we're working with. Think of this part as the diagnosis. We need to uncover those invisible scripts, the ones that have been running your financial life on autopilot, probably for years, without you even realizing it. And this really gets to the core of it. The biggest roadblocks to building wealth, they're not out there in the world. They're in here. They're the invisible beliefs, the little stories we picked up about money when we were growing up. So let's start dragging them out into the light, one by one. It really does all start here, in our childhood. Maybe your family argued about money, or maybe they never talked about it at all. Either way, you were learning, you were absorbing ideas. Phrases like, money is the root of all evil, or we can't afford that. These things stick with us and create this powerful, often subconscious blueprint for our entire financial lives. And those childhood narratives often lead straight to this, a scarcity mindset. This is that constant, nagging feeling in the back of your head that there is just never enough. And when you're living in that mindset, every decision you make is defensive. It's based on fear. You're so busy trying not to lose what you have that you completely miss all the opportunities to gain so much more. Oh, and then there's this modern-day trap, isn't there? Social comparison. We're constantly scrolling, measuring our own messy, real lives against someone else's perfectly curated highlight reel. And it's exhausting. It doesn't just make you anxious, it actually pushes you to make terrible financial decisions, like spending money you don't have just to keep up. Now, this one is a real silent killer of progress, shame. Feeling embarrassed about your debt or how little you know about investing, it makes you want to hide. But here's the trap. When you hide, you can't ask for help. You can't learn what you need to know to change things. It's a truly vicious cycle. Okay, so that was the diagnosis. Feeling a little seen, a little exposed? Good. Honestly, that's exactly where you need to be because now we get to flip the script. We're moving from problem to prescription. This is where the real change begins. I want you to let this one really sink in. This is the absolute core of everything we're talking about. Your financial world, what you see in your bank account, is a direct mirror of your inner world. So if you want to change the numbers out there, you have to start by changing the thoughts in here. So how do we start? With something I call a money story audit. It's simple, but it's powerful. You basically become an archaeologist of your own mind. You're going to grab a journal and just start writing. What are your earliest memories of money? What beliefs kept popping up? Notice when you feel guilt or fear. And finally, just highlight the beliefs that are clearly old and just not helping you anymore. See, the whole point of this exercise is that you can't change a story if you don't even know you're telling it. By writing it all down, you take away its power. You bring these old, dusty beliefs out into the open where you can look at them and say, wait a minute, where did that come from? And do I even believe that anymore? And the goal of this whole audit is to make this huge mental shift, to go from scarcity to abundance. A scarcity mindset whispers, I don't have enough, and reacts with fear. But an abundance mindset says, you know what? I can create more, and plans with confidence. One is stuck, the other is free. This is the whole game right here. And I want to be clear, this isn't just about making a few small changes. This is a total transformation. It's like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. You're not just a slightly better version of your old self. You're fundamentally becoming someone new, someone who sees opportunity and possibility where you used to only see walls. So, you've dug up your old story and you're committed to this new mindset. What's next? Well, now you have to start building a new identity. See, it's not enough to just think differently. You have to start acting your way into this new reality. Let's talk about what that actually looks like. So, what does a wealth identity feel like? Well, it's calm, it's strategic. Instead of making panicked decisions, you make choices from a place of clarity. You stop saying things like, I can't afford that. And you start asking, okay, how can I afford that? It means you actually look at your numbers, you make plans, and you never, ever stop learning. And to back up this new identity, you've got to consciously install some new beliefs. Think of it like upgrading the software in your brain. You start repeating things like, money is a skill I can learn. Financial stability is something I deserve. And this is a big one. Structure and budgets, they create freedom, they don't restrict it. These become your new truths. And this might be the most practical and maybe the most feared step of all. You have to gain clarity. You just have to know your numbers. Seriously, you can't change what you don't measure. And tracking your money isn't about judging yourself. It's about giving yourself the data you need to make those calm, confident, strategic decisions we keep talking about. It's pure power. All right, we've gone through the diagnosis, the prescription, and the new identity. That's a lot of theory. So let's get down to business. Let's make this all incredibly real with a simple, straightforward action plan you can start today. Here's your mission for the next 30 days. First, do that money story audit. Write it all down. Then, pick just 2 of those old junky beliefs and consciously replace them with new empowering ones. Then, for 30 days, track every single dollar. Get an app, use a notebook, whatever. Just do it. Start investing, even if it's just $5. Commit to learning one new thing about money each week. And, this part is so important, celebrate at least 10 small wins along the way. Seriously, celebrating progress is what builds momentum. Look, this whole journey, this entire transformation, it starts right now, in this moment. You have the tools, you know the steps. You can see the path from your old story to a powerful new one. So the only question left is, what's your new story gonna be?
Find your true identity.
Lead your life with intention.